Hey, this is Homespun Home. Finally, I'm getting online after not being on for quite some time. And just had a lot going on in my life. I hope that I haven't lost y'all's interest in some of the things that I would like to share on my channel. I've had a little bit of a cold again. I don't know if it's allergy related. Who knows? When you get to a certain point in age, which I'm not saying I'm old, but I always bring out the fact that I'm not a young chicken. It seems like I catch things. But you know when I really seem to get exposed to colds and little bugs and little cruds and all of that kind of stuff is when I go visit my grandkids, and I end up picking up everything that they've been exposed to. They've started back to school, and I had to watch them over the weekend, or not over the weekend, actually last night and all day today. Today is Saturday, but it's Saturday afternoon about 3:30. So, anywho, it just seems like every time I get around them, I end up picking up some little something from them. I know that it has been said that people are not interested in hearing about your health issues, but I did go to the doctors this past week, and I ended up having to switch my blood pressure medication, which this is all new to me. I am brand new when it comes to all the factors that come with getting older. I've never had any history of health issues, but here lately, little things have been cropping up. One of which is my having not extremely high, but first stage of blood pressure, which could be alleviated if I would lose about 20 pounds. Easier said than done. I don't like a lot of sweets. I don't like a lot of carbonated drinks and things like that. I just like food. I just like to eat. I mean, I'm not overwhelmingly gorging, but I like to eat. So I find it very difficult sometimes to cut back. And my son-in-law, he is Hispanic, and he is an excellent cook. My daughter's an excellent cook. My husband's an excellent cook. My son is an excellent cook. I am not an excellent cook, but believe you me, I can make certain things like, spaghetti, and I love to make chicken fettuccine, and little things like that. And here in the near future, I will be working with a family that I consider to be my family. They are Oriental. They're opening up a brand new business, and I will be working there. So you all know I'm going to be eating me some fried rice and some fish balls and, I don't know, sweet and sour chicken and all that kind of stuff. So I'll try to behave if that's possible. But that's a forthcoming, that's in the future. They are working on the restaurant now and hopefully getting, everything situated. It's been a long, you'll have to excuse every time I get online. It's the bird and the dog. Y'all have to excuse. I have a huge cockatoo in the kitchen, and when I start talking, she starts talking, okay? And it gets on my nerves. Anybody want to buy a bird? But you have to be an avid bird lover, and she is got to be well cared for. She's just like a little baby. I would not want to give her up to anybody that did not know the nuances of taking care of a cockatoo, okay? Just saying. So she's stuck with me at this point. We've had her since my daughter has 2 kids, and we've had babies since she was newborn, and I had to hand feed her, and she had pin feathers. Actually, she didn't even have pin feathers. She was nothing but pink skin when I got her. So we've had her for a really long time, but I'm getting to the point where it's getting more and more of a challenge cleaning her cage and trying to keep up with the mess and the noise, and it's crazy. So, if somebody's interested in buying a beautiful cockatoo, under $1,000, but that includes 2 cages and her beautiful bird stand and her food and her toys and everything. But again, she has to be taken in by someone who is committed to her for the rest of her life and is good to her and would never neglect her or, you know, whatever. But that's a whole nother story. Getting off on a tangent. I hope I don't drive you guys crazy. I have been accused of being very wordy. I have always been very wordy. I can't seem to express myself without going into tons of detail. Before I get started on something that's been on my mind, I wanted to show off this little guy right here. I am kind of torn as to whether or not I want to sell him, but I'm thinking that I have some financial needs. I don't mind telling y'all. What's new under the sun? Everybody, you know, could do with a little bit of extra greenback, right? I do have quite a few reborns, and I am being very selective as to the ones that I'm willing to sell. And I have sold several babies at a very, very reasonable price, really reasonable, because for one, I want someone else that is interested in reborns to have the privilege of loving a baby without having to spend a fortune, and yet the baby not be, you know, too poor quality, but somewhat nice in quality. Maybe not top notch, maybe not an $800, $900 baby, but believe me, I've been just a little over 100 plus shipping on 3 of my babies so far. I have 3 that I have put up for sale. I've sold one, and she's already with her new mommy. Sold her for $100. She was the one that I was trying to give away in the raffle. And all I needed was just a little bit of raffle tickets, but then I read to my dismay after the fact that YouTube doesn't do monetary raffles. They don't mind, I guess, if you sell things, but they don't like raffles. So whatever, I just ended up gaffing that whole thing, and I wondered why I wasn't getting any comments, because this doll that I was raffling off for a mere $100, I didn't disclose the amount that I needed, but I said, you know, it was unlimited tickets at $5 a pop. Excuse me, my fan is on, it's blowing my mess everywhere. But the raffle for the baby was the only amount of money that I was trying to get out of her was $100 plus shipping, which is $20 in the US. But I have this one that I am trying to sell, but I have 2. I have a little kit, Landon, who's adorable. I actually have his twin, and coincidentally both babies were painted by sisters who are twins, but I'm keeping the one which is the one I first purchased when I first started getting into reborns. But this little guy is adorable as well, but I couldn't justify having both when I need some finances right now. And so I thought, well, okay, I'm willing to sell the twin. Now, he has not officially been sold. I've had tons of people asking about him, and I've got him in the box. I got him kind of wrapped up, but I might take him out just so y'all can see. I kind of have him partially wrapped up. I don't have him completely wrapped up, but I do have him in a box ready to go for whoever decides to come through with the money. He is only $100 plus $20 for shipping. This baby here, you know, I started taking a bunch of pictures of him to post for sale, and he's a pretty good sized baby. He's not real heavy. He's very soft and very cuddly, and he's open eye, and he's got, you know, some rooting, as you can see. And I really would like to get more than $100 for him. I'm thinking more like I don't know, $175 maybe, and that would include shipping. That would include shipping. So technically I would be selling him for not $125, I'm sorry, $150. I'd like to get $150 for him, 20 of which would pay for shipping. So I'm still not asking a lot. But, you know, he's a good sized baby. He's cuddly. I don't know. He's got a nice paint job. I don't know. I guess I'm not going to say that he's an ugly baby, because in his pictures that I was taking, he looked so cute, and I was posing him different ways and everything. He's a big baby. I think that he could use a little more detail, but his toenails are shiny, but there's not a lot of white to, well, there is some white. I'm in a dark room, but he's really big. He's a really good sized baby. He's got a lot of wrinkles, as you can see, and nice pudgy nose, big eyes. He has rooted eyelashes, painted eyebrows. But anyway, I would like to get at least $150 for him. I mean, that's a giveaway. That really is a giveaway. But I'm kind of torn. So here's the thing. If somebody comes up with the money right away, you know, within the next few weeks or whatever, I will sell him. But if not, I'm going to hold him back for just a little bit and just see how I feel. I don't know. I have a couple babies that I consider ugly babies, but I love them because they are so uniquely different. They're not just the cute, perfect, you know, featured baby. They're painted beautifully, but they're just ugly babies. But I love them because they are different. They're not your normal, you know, cutesy. I don't know. His hair, I got it kind of styled a little bit. But let me show you the back again. He's got, you know, a sufficient amount of hair. He's really cuddly, and he's big. He's a big boy. He's a big boy, and I love him. But I do need funds, so again, I'm willing to sell him for $150, which means that I would get, what, $130 in profit, and the rest would go towards shipping. Okay? And because he, well, you know, I use the standard box that the post office offers for between $20 and $25 to mail the babies, within the U.S. You can tell that I have hot flashes because I've got this fan going and it's blowing my stuff everywhere. But anyway, I hope that my videos, what few videos that I have put out, have not been too boring, and I do want to discuss something today specifically. But here's, like I said, this is the one little guy that I think I might sell. I had the baby that I sold that was going to be given away in the raffle. A lady purchased her. I won't say her name, but she purchased her. And then she emailed me the other night and asked me if I was going to have some more babies for sale. And I told her that I was going to have some more babies, but I just have to kind of think about it and go through my little Reborn family and see who I am willing to give up. I really like this baby a lot because of all the wrinkles and the detail, but I'll be honest, I just think that he could have been done in a little bit more detailed fashion, because, oh my God, I'm gonna break my dang computer. Because he is so detailed with all the little wrinkles and whatnot. Sorry, God, did I make y'all get dizzy? Because of the fact that he has so many little wrinkles on his feet and his arms and whatnot, I think the lady that painted him, and not discrediting her talent, okay, I think I would have added a little more detail, because these wrinkles on him are to die for. I mean, they are just adorable. I mean, they really are adorable. I don't know if y'all can see. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so that's the one baby that and he has a dose weight. He does have a dose weight body. Okay. And I guess I could get the twin out of the box. Sorry, I am just discombobulated. Oh my God. This is pitiful. I'm definitely not high quality like Sam has referred to some of these. She has talked about the clicks. Sorry, Sam, but I had to mention your name because your last video I watched last night on the circus theme, and you were talking about everything had to be perfect, you know, high quality video and high quality high-end dolls, and you know, in order to be part of the in crowd. You know what? I have never, ever, when I was in school, that as far as I know anyway, I wasn't part of the in crowd because I could care less. I mean, I just was myself. I was not part of the in crowd. And not to say that I didn't make some good friends over the years, but I was kind of one of those that I didn't need a whole lot of friends. I just had specific, I'd rather have quality than quantity. That's just the way I've always been. So let me get this baby out of this box. Now I do have a second baby sold to Miss Jessica Love. Hi, darling. I haven't forgot you. I promise I don't have transportation like I need and want, so I have to quite often wait on my husband to take me where I need to go. Now I had this little guy all wrapped up, so sweet, but I'm gonna go ahead and take him out so y'all can see him, and you can, you know, because he is still for sale. I got him wrapped up real nice. But anywho, and he's kind of heavy for being such a small baby. And when I say small, he's not really a preemie. I would say he's a newborn size baby. But here he is. Look at him. He's only $100 plus $20 for shipping. He's really cute. He really, really is. And his brother, his twin, was painted by the lady that painted this baby, is the twin sister of the artist that painted my other baby that is the same kit. Painted by two different artists though, okay? So this little guy here is $125 plus $20 shipping. He would make a fantastic first time reborn baby. He really would. He would be something that you would be proud, you know, to put in a carrier and take into the store. He's got a little bit of rooted hair on the top, plus he's painted as well. And, you know, he's got both. So he's just really sweet. He really, really is. I love him. I love him. He's a nice, heavy, good size baby. And not overly heavy for his size. His brother is not quite as heavy as he is. His brother had a lot of stuffing in his shoulder, and I took some of the stuffing out. He looked too buff for being a little guy, but he's newborn size. He's 4.5 pounds, okay? 4.5, 5 pounds, give or take. And he's just really cute, really, really cute. He's well worth, I don't think the video does him justice as to the quality of how he really is. Miss Pamela Barahona, her sister, painted this baby, and she really did a good job. She did a good job. And of course, obviously, I kept the one that Pamela painted as well, because he has a little more hair on his head than his brother. But oh my God, he's got the cutest little nose, little ears, cute little mouth. Oh my God, he's so cute. I wouldn't sell him if I didn't have to. I swear I wouldn't sell him if I didn't have to, but I have no choice. I have to do what I got to do. But like I said, I am not getting out of the reborn scenario. I'm in it for the rest of my life. I love my babies, but I thought I'd show him off one more time online so y'all could see. You know, these babies are really cute, and they are very much worth I've actually had several women, not to be offensive, but ask me if I would be willing to take less than $100 for this baby, and I'm like, no. I wish I could. I understand the need, to want to get something, reasonably priced, but he is well worth more than $100, and I just can't see giving him away. I need to get a little something for my trouble. He's worth more, like I said. So, anywho, that's two of the babies that I have not sold. Jessica Love's baby is going to be on its way soon. My little open-eyed boy, he's adorable as well. He was painted also by the same artist that painted this little guy that I just showed you. Pam's sister painted the little guy that's going to Jessica Love, okay? And he's adorable, and he's a cuddle bug too. He's got open eyes, just open, like as if he's trying to open his eyes and look around to see what's going on in the world. Okay, but I wanted to, I'm a little head shy because it just seems like I have not been very polite by some people's standards, I guess, but as y'all know, I am a very committed fan. I'm not going to say that I go to every live that is presented, and I'm not going to say that I respond to every video, but I am a diehard, committed supporter of Jen, Belle's Reborn, and also Miss Lori, her mother. And I know it sounds bizarre, like, oh my God, she's such a weird person because she's always talking about Belle's Reborn, and she's always talking about Lori and blah, 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 blah. Well, I first started following Jen and Sam, and then later when her mother got involved, I started following her. And to be honest with you, because time is of the essence, I don't have time to sit and watch every single video that comes out. So I was very supportive of Sam, because I figured, well, I really like Jen, so I'm going to go support Sam. Well, as many of y'all know, I'm going to get a cough drop. As many of y'all know, the content with Sam's platform, and I was disappointed first because I thought she had just quit doing videos altogether, but then next thing I know, it was a smear campaign here and a smear campaign there, la-di-da, and I got all involved in that, and I mainly got involved because I really love Jen, and I don't even know her, really. I've never met her in my life other than on YouTube, but I'm just that way. My nurses, when I worked at the hospital, I was a unit coordinator for over 5 years in the ER, and my nurses used to call me a bleeding heart because I really had a soft spot for people in general, and if I liked you, I liked you. If I considered you somebody I cared about, I cared about you. I don't care. I really did. I cared about you. And I've never been one to really deviate from a commitment unless that person has repetitively hurt me or done something to the point where suddenly I don't even know when it happens. I just draw the line in the sand and I walk away from the friendship. I just can't deal sometimes with certain, and it breaks my heart, because I really am a very committed person. But I said all that to say, I'm very supportive of Jen, and I started getting involved with Sam, and then Lori got on, with Jen's help, and she's a sweetheart. God bless her. She's so sweet. And I love Jen, and but then again, Sam changed her platform somewhat, and she changed the color of her topics, and they were becoming very offensive to me. And as y'all know, she put out a video mocking my method of communication and how I was very wordy, but I've always been that way. I don't know why. I guess I feel like I have to give every little minute detail I think it drives some people crazy, but whatever. That's who I am. I'm never going to change. I'm 62. I'm never going to change. But I decided recently to take a risk. And like I said, this health thing, I've been going through a lot, so it's been causing a lot of up and down emotion on my part. And now I think I'm on an even keel. My doctor is helping me with my blood pressure and some other areas. And I'm due to get a physical from my GYN soon, and hopefully I won't have to have surgery there. I'm crossing my fingers. We'll see. So, I've had all this in the background, no excuses, and part of the reason I wanted to get on YouTube and do a channel was, I feel like a lot of times my family takes me for granted, and we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're never guaranteed, another hour. I mean, anything could happen, and I just want my family to look back and maybe watch some of my videos and say, gosh, Mom wasn't so bad after all, or Nanny wasn't so bad after all. My granddaughter gets on me because, you see these fingernails here? She's like, Nanny, you're too old to be having style like that. I don't like it. Take them off. Why can't you just be, a normal nanny, she says. My grandson, on the other hand, who's a couple years younger than her, was like, well, Nanny wants to have style. There's a lot of women that are Nanny's age that like to have style. So I've got two, grandkids arguing over my fingernails. Okay? Which I do mine myself. But when I start working, I'll start getting them done professionally. But, in the meantime, whatever I do on my own. I don't pay a lot for it, believe me, to buy the supplies. I just, do the stick-ons or whatever. But I like to save money that way. But my granddaughter hates it. She's like, she just thinks that it's just too far-fetched. And I love glittery nail polish, and that drives her bonkers. But anyway, so I want to have a voice. I think that everyone is entitled to have a voice, and I don't necessarily call it my truth or your truth. I don't believe in that. I believe it's called perspective. And I will re-emphasize that again. It's called perspective. The way we perceive things has a lot to do with how we were raised and the experiences we've been through in life, and, just life in general, It's perspective. But I decided to reach out to someone who actually, well, I won't even say I reached out. Let me rephrase that. I actually reciprocated an invitation to be a friend to someone. And, we started doing the Facebook little blurbs, just real quick little blurbs of, how are you? I'm fine. I live here. And I would be like, I live here in North Carolina, and they would be, I live over here in this part of the U.S. or part of the state or whatever. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. Well, I am married, and I have so many grandkids, and blah, blah, blah. So we did the little chit-chat back and forth. And then we agreed, let's get online and face chat each other. And this person lives a good distance away from me, so I got online, she got online, and we just had a good time getting to know each other and be friends. And as each time that we chatted, I felt like I was getting to know her more and more, and we had some good laughs and jokes, and in between those times she would send me just tons of stuff, private message me just recipes or articles or whatever, which most of the time I did try to look at what she sent, but she sent so much that I just didn't have the time. And that's why I said I support Jen and Lori and just a few channels that I really take time to listen because I don't have time. I don't have time to sit and listen to all the people that I really, really do support and really enjoy. So I pick the ones that mean the most to me, and that happens to be Miss Lori, Belle's Reborn, and a couple others that I won't mention. But I do watch Sam. I do listen to Sam. I want to hear what she has to say. She's so controversial that she keeps life interesting. You can't say she doesn't keep life interesting. Sam, you keep life interesting. I listen to Tasha. I don't know, a few others here and there. Mama Cass, Reborns, whatever. So, but this person I decided to get a little more personal with, as far as like a friend, a girlfriend. And in reality, I do not have a lot of live friends that live up the street and we get together and have coffee and all that. One of my friends that I did occasionally sit down and have coffee with, she passed away. She called me one week to thank me for loving her and being her friend, and the next week she was gone. It was really sad. And she knew she was sick, so she took it upon herself to call me and tell me that, I appreciate you. You've always had my back, and you've always, watched me over me and helped me out and stuff. And I cried, of course, and I was going to get up with her and do lunch if I could, and before I could even do that, she was gone. Within a week, she was gone. So I don't have a tendency to take a lot of time out of my life to pursue having coffee and girls' night out and getting on the phone and all that. So I thought, well, why not go ahead and just take a chance? But it got me to thinking about a subject. I said all that to say because there is a connection. My main subject is why do we take the time to send Happy Mail? What is it about Happy Mail that is part of the Reborn community flavor? What is it about lending ourselves to spending money on people in reality that we really don't even know? Okay? I mean, you can get to know somebody online based on what they demonstrate, which, Sam, I'm sorry to keep mentioning your name, but you talk about how they're, they project themselves one way online, but behind closed doors, they're a whole different person. And the challenge here is those of us that support, we really don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We can only base our interpretation of that person's personality on what they display on their public platform. When they close the camera and the computer, we really don't know what kind of people they are and how they conduct themselves. We hope that, if you're a halfway decent person, you hope that that person you support and care about, based on the online interaction, is a good person, but you don't know for sure. But why Happy Mail? Well, we're kind of groping in the dark when it comes to, again, trying to figure out, is this person being real? Are they being genuine? Are they just putting on a show, as some accuse others of doing on different channels? But I'm going to say one of the reasons that I support a channel or two, they're the priority channels for me, is because they lend themselves to the valuable asset of time. One particular channel that I watch they do their homework. They take time to question and prompt, your imagination. They prompt your inspiration. They share what they are learning. They share resources. They share the mediums, like within the Reborn community. They give you the sources of where to purchase a particular medium or a particular tool with regards to reborning. They send out a lot of information which saves you or me time. If somebody gets online and they start projecting resources, that's going to save me time, because that means I don't have to stop and try to find, the best deal, or to find a particular product that maybe is not available in my Hobby Lobby or Michael's or wherever. So the person that's doing the video has taken the time to research certain things, and they're sharing their research. They're divulging their sources, and I that takes a lot of time and effort, and that saves me a lot of time and effort. So one of the reasons that we do the Happy Mail, I think, it's not mandatory to do Happy Mail, but there are times when you see other people put a lot of time and effort into their videos, and it is a method of appreciation. It's kind of like getting paid, to be a specialist in a certain field. If you have a certain technique in a certain area and you're willing to share that with no cost, okay, those of us that might appreciate that are going to take time to reciprocate, and the reciprocation a lot of times comes through Happy Mail. I also like the fact that the information is also lays a path of continuum. I don't know if it lays a path, because that means that that person who's doing the video and sharing the information, which is sharing you time, is laying the groundwork for others to come in and add to the knowledge, and to make a continuum. So I might start out saying one thing in my video that's helpful, and then someone else comes behind me and leaves a comment and says, oh, by the way, and they add to what I have projected, and it just continues to roll down the hill, so to speak, but in a good way. So someone who lays the foundation and is willing to share and take time and give out resources and give out good information. There are many on the sidelines that are watching that say, oh, well, I've got this little bit of information that would really be helpful, and they may add to the situation, which benefits everybody. Okay, so that is a good thing. And so it becomes one great big resource of knowledge. And the person that started that roller coaster, but in a good way, deserves to be credited. It's not necessary, it's not mandatory, but it's nice. It's a nice thing to do. One of the things I wanted to bring out was, is a shout out equal to a thank you? For example, if I, and I know it seems weird because I just sent some Happy Mail for the first time to Miss Bell, and that's not why I'm doing this. This Miss Bell has nothing to do with, there's nothing to read into this other than I chose to send a Happy Mail because I appreciate everything that that Jen puts out in her videos. She really, really puts out a lot. She makes good videos, and I am always learning something from her videos, okay? But going back to, is it an appropriate thank you when you do a shout out? I had someone say to me, well, you could have spent $1 on a card thanking me. Okay, this was the person that I was being friends with, who took it upon herself to send me some happy mail, even though I continually and often mentioned to her, please don't do that. Don't send me any happy mail. Don't. It's not necessary. Okay? Please don't. I knew it was going to be costly because of where she lives. She lives outside of the U.S. I knew it was going to be expensive, and I just felt uncomfortable, which goes into when is it appropriate to send happy mail? When is it, let me rephrase that, when is it inappropriate to send happy mail? So I felt like it was early in our relationship, it was early in our friendship, it was very, very in the very beginning scenario, and I did not feel comfortable receiving anything as yet from that person. It was just too soon, too early, and it made me a little uncomfortable, which I'm not really a receiver anyway. I'm a giver. I love to give. I don't like to receive. I don't know why. Well, I do like to receive, but I just get uncomfortable. I love it, and yet I don't. It's kind of a love-hate thing. I'm not going to be stupid and say, oh, I don't love, receiving things. I do, but I'd rather give. I get great pleasure watching someone's reaction. That's my payback, when they're happy and they appreciate. But I told this person, please don't do that. So they did anyway. So I made a video, and y'all aren't stupid. You can go and figure it out when you get on my channel. You'll find the video, and I did a shout out, and I was oohing and ahhing and just raving over this happy mail, and my grandchildren were also in the video briefly, which I prefer not to have them in there because I don't know, YouTube is funny about all that. So, and Jordan didn't have on a shirt, so I have no problems with it, but there's some weird people out there. So anyway, I did this really nice shout out, and I did a specific video geared to my appreciation, even though I tried to tell this person, please don't do it. They did. And I was very happy and very thankful, and I thought I made that clear in the video, but evidently within a very short amount of time, this person that I was friends with started sending me some really strange comments, and just acting kind of bizarre and saying bizarre things that made me scratch my head and wonder what they meant. So when they accused me, number one, of not sending a thank you card, I was a little stunned because I thought, well, I thought the shout out was sufficient enough of a thank you. Maybe not. Maybe I should have sent a card in the mail. But here's the thing, I put together a package, and I put some things in it that I felt she would really appreciate. Some handmade items as well as some other things that she's interested in, and I put them in a package. It wasn't a box, but it was a good size package, envelope, one of the big ones. And when my husband went to mail it, it was very expensive. It was almost $30 to mail this envelope. And my husband just said, honey, I don't think there's even $30 worth of stuff in this envelope. It's not worth it. So, like I said, I did the shout out, but I told this person, I have this beautiful, this nice package for you, but I can't mail it out. My husband refuses. It is very expensive. I can understand, and I could have mailed it, but I just felt the same way. I felt like it's just not worth it. But this person's, a member of that person, a family member of that person, went to the States, and I asked her, is there any way I can mail this to you in the States? And then when your family member goes to the States, they can pick it up and bring it to you instead. and deliver it by hand rather than me trying to mail it specifically to where you live, which is outside the U.S. And they kept saying, no, no, we don't have anybody that lives, in the States that's close to where I live. I don't want to divulge too much because I don't want to mention any names. I'm pretty sure this person's going to figure it out. Some of you girls may figure it out. You're not stupid. But it really bothered me because next thing I know, she's telling me I should have sent her a card, that her feelings were hurt when I sent Belle that box. Well, I started working on that box for Belle like a month or more before I even met this person online, okay, for one. In my defense, I started putting together this box. And the more I listened to Belle, and I tried to pick up little hints, every weekend I would put a little something extra in the box until I finally got enough in there that I couldn't fit anymore. So I finally mailed it out to Belle. But I did that. I started that way before I met this person online. Come to find out, this person's feelings were hurt, and they told me so. And they also made a point of telling me how much the gift or the Happy Mail they sent me, how much it cost, which I think is in poor taste, especially in light of the fact that I told that person, no, please don't do that. You do not have to buy somebody's friendship. You don't have to buy somebody's, especially prematurely when you guys have only known each other for a little while. It's just, there's a little bit of protocol there, and there's a little bit of time and space that has to happen. And once you really feel, like you're really, really close, or I don't know, let some time go by to prove yourself as a true friend or whatever, maybe then you can send each other gifts and stuff. But it just, I told this person, and they made a point of broaching the amount that they spent, which made me feel even more uncomfortable than I already had in the beginning when I kept saying, please don't send me Happy Mail. Okay, they ended up sending me similar to Sam. They sent me a doll, but I kept saying, please don't do that. And then when I found out how much it cost, I was like floored, and I thought, my God, I didn't ask this. I didn't ask this person to do this, and you don't have to buy my friendship. It's not necessary. And like I said, when is it untimely to send goodies? When is it untimely? When is it not acceptable to send someone, Happy Mail? Well, number one, your budget. You have to consider the cost. You have to consider, the items that you send plus what it costs you to purchase and to mail. Just some people just can't afford to do certain things, and they have the best of intentions, and maybe they would if they could, but sometimes it's just untimely. Your budget just doesn't allow. You have to ask yourself, what's the motive in sending the Happy Mail? Am I trying to buy their friendship? Am I trying to persuade them to be my friend? Am I trying to manipulate by this passive aggressive approach of sending Happy Mail? What is the motive in sending the Happy Mail? You have to ask yourself that as well. And the motive should be genuine and honest. It should be sincere. So saying that, if somebody just sends a card and a bookmark and just says, you know what, I really appreciate your channel, I think you're interesting, you keep me entertained, you pique my interest, I really enjoy listening to you and your perspective. It's the thought that counts. It's not the gift. It's not the amount of the gift. It's not how much money you put into it. It's the thought that counts. And for me, getting positive comments on my channel means the world to me. I would rather that than receive anything in the mail, of any cost. I mean, I love receiving gifts, don't get me wrong. I like things, but if you tell me, I really enjoy listening to you, you're honest or you're real or you're whatever, keep up the good work, or hey, I'm thinking about you, that means more to me than anybody could ever imagine. And no amount of Happy Mail can substitute for genuine compliments and genuine support. Okay, so that's my thought on that. And like I said, what are you trying to say with the Happy Mail? You can send a card. Go to the Dollar Tree and buy a card for $1 and mail it. It means a lot. But this person, like I said, that sent me the Happy Mail, they expected a card, but I did a whole stinking video thanking them. What do you want, my blood? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't ungrateful. I was very grateful, but it was kind of tongue-in-cheek. I felt uncomfortable, but yet I was also happy. And, I thought, oh, this is a really good friend. But then, she started coming off with these weird comments and saying stuff that just kind of made me question and almost kind of riled me up a little bit and made me feel some kind of way. And I didn't like that. And I actually called that. The person said to me, well, why didn't you tell me that's how you were feeling? But I did. I actually got online and I Facebooked her lifetime and asked her what's going on. What does this comment mean? Why would you say that? This is a sensitive area in my life. Why would you probe me? Why would you jab me with this comment? Knowing it's sensitive. It's a sensitive subject to me. I did talk to her about it. And like I said, it's inappropriate to send Happy Mail to gain attention. It's inappropriate to send Happy Mail to provoke jealousy. It's inappropriate to send Happy Mail to gain a sense of leverage. Well, I did this for you, and you need to do this for me. Friendship can't be purchased. You cannot buy friendship either if you can't afford to do it either. Don't make it a hardship. Happy Mail is a gift. It's a thank you. Different channels offer more than just opinions or shade or conflict or just a chit chat. Some channels really go all out with, submitting quality material. And when I say quality, I don't mean entertaining. I don't mean, you have to entertain me to the point where you make me laugh and keep me engrossed. And I don't know, my grandkids watch this stuff and it's like, to me, it's these young kids and they don't even talk. They yell and do all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, it just gets on my last nerve. Quality to me is taking the time to do your research, taking time to put your heart into it, taking time to share your resources, not being stingy with your channel, not being stingy with your talent. A good channel mentors and encourages. A good channel, will occasionally throw in some humor, but also share part of their heart, part of their life. You don't have to disclose everything, and get way personal, but you can feel and you can have a strong sense of integrity and genuineness in certain channels. And those channels, in my opinion, if I can send a thank you, whether it's just a card or Happy Mail or whatever, it's kind of like, they don't ask for that. They don't ask to be reciprocated for their time and trouble. But it's such a kind gesture. It's a kind gesture of support and mentoring that says, we're in this together. We support the cause of Reborns. We support the cause of the art. We support the cause of consumerism. We support the cause of honesty and integrity. We support the cause without rivalry and jealousy or whatever, without any interior motive. I don't understand why it has to be so competitive. So, I don't know if any of this, like I say, every time I do a video, I say this, I don't know if it makes sense, but it's just how I feel. And it's not a given to have to send happy mail, but I feel like giving credit where credit is due. Some of us have more time than others to devote to making videos, and some of us only have a little bit of time. I'm not going to weigh the balance out, but if I want to send happy mail, I'm going to do so because I have no motive other than to say thank you. I appreciate your taking time to share with me your little secrets of your techniques. That bird is driving me crazy. Okay, I'm getting older. And let's just say, and I'm not, say if I was a prominent artist, why would I want to harbor every single minute tad of experience that I have, not only with my art, but also as an experience, someone who's been around in life or maybe gone through things. It's selfish of me not to want to share and maybe help someone else that might have to go through certain things. Maybe I can prevent someone from making poor choices. I'm not going to be around forever, so my experiences when I pass are going to be gone. Nobody else is going to be able to pick my brain, and nobody else is going to be able to hear my story. And I don't see anything wrong with sharing your story. I think that we need to have more tolerance with each other. And but going back to this happy mail thing, it's a personal choice. It's a thank you. It's an appreciate. It's just like the giveaways. You know what? These people don't have to do the giveaways. They don't. That's being generous on their part. It's the same scenario. The same scenario. When people do giveaways, they're doing it out of appreciation for their followers and the people that subscribe to their channels. Same thing. But this person that I was chatting with really came down hard on me, really hurt my feelings. The other night I poured my heart out to her, but I have just decided I've got to pull back. I haven't blocked her or anything like that. She's welcome to send a comment on my YouTube channel. She's welcome to send me private messages, whatever she wants to do, but I am not going to reciprocate much because I can't handle her emotional ups and downs and her questionable methods. I mean, one day she's all there and supportive, and the next day she's making some snide, it's almost like kindergarten, like juvenile, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't need that in my life right now. I've got a lot going on. I've got grandkids that I'm helping, babysit for my daughter. I've got financial situation. I've got health issues that I've never had to deal with my entire life. Nothing, that hopefully can't be taken care of, but being 62 is new to me. I've not always been 62, so the things that come with getting older are all new to me. Arthritis is new to me. High blood pressure is new to me. I haven't had a lot of experience in the realm of getting old, so I'm dealing with a lot, and I really value very much my Reborns. I'm trying to give other women an opportunity. If they want to buy some Reborns from me, it's going to help me, but it's going to help them because I'm not asking an exuberant amount of money for these babies. I'm practically giving some of my babies away, and that's okay because I've chosen that. I've chosen to do that. I want to be able to help someone else get a baby, but I also want to be able to help my pocketbook, a little bit. And maybe one day I'm going to sit down and paint a Reborn. I've got it in the back of my mind to do it. I may not do it tomorrow. I may not do it next year, but I hope that's on my bucket list if there's such a thing. I do want to do that, and I want to continue on with my YouTube channel. And I want to have some diversity. I don't want to just focus on Reborns, although that is very much a big part of my life. I will never undermine that. I appreciate all of the opportunities that are out there that, you know, are available to me to listen and learn from other Reborn artists and other Reborn consumers. I don't take it for granted. I don't want to make enemies. I just want to be supportive of the cause, and I do have my favorites, and I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I absolutely adore Belle's Reborn. I adore Miss Lori. I appreciate Tasha's channel. I know that, you know, a lot of things that can be said on these different channels can be misconstrued, and it's a lot of the flavor of what is said is based on personality. Okay, one particular person insists on downgrading the whole entire Reborn community, and yet that's their perspective. And to me, being right all the time and being true to their perspective, it's their perspective, you know, and they feel, you know, this is the way it really is not fair, because everybody has their own perspective, and there's cliques in every denomination of life. Every level of life has cliques. You know, when I worked at the hospital, it was like a world unto itself. I mean, the gossip and the cliques and all that. I mean, it's everywhere. It's in school. It's everywhere. People just have a pecking order, and I don't know why it has to be that way, but it is. I worked for 10 years in a daycare. It was a pecking order amongst the employees there. It's crazy. But it's perspective, and you're never going to get away from it. But my perspective is not necessarily 100% accurate. I'm taking my perspective, my eyeglasses, and looking at life through my interpretation and my perspective. You may have a different perspective, and if I can learn from your perspective, that's great. But I'm not going to constantly judge and incriminate and demean people's perspective. But that's a whole nother subject. So I'm going to get off, because I've been talking for an hour and so many minutes, and I will be, you know, posting these babies. And like I said, I would like to get 150 for this sweet little guy right here. As soon as I get the money, I'll mail him out right away. It's same with the other baby that I just showed you, and I may have a kit. He was put together. He's an AA baby. I'd like to get at least, now I say $50, and that is like so cheap, it's not funny. He has everything to put together. You know, he's got the stuffing, he's got the doseway body, he's got the legs, the arms, the head. You just have to put him together. I would like to sell him for $50. And I will show you that baby in another video. So I'm going to let y'all go, because it has been a long video. Y'all have a wonderful holiday Monday. Stay safe. I love you guys. Mwah!